Abyssobrotula, the deepest fish. 8,370 meters below sea level. Journey to the ninth circle of hell. At this depth I can hear the wailing of sinners. The wailing of the planet. Eternal emptiness, eternal loneliness. This is the place that could be whispered nowhere. Here, in the 8-kilometer abyss, there is no light. To see the first hints of the sun's existence, you have to swim upwards of 7 kilometers. The pressure is 800 atmospheres. Any living thing would turn into a flat soul in an instant. Anything? I think that's where I was wrong. A goddamn herring with the unpronounceable name Abyssobrotula is snidely floating in a place where time and space itself rejects such a concept as life. And you know what's even wilder? That this fish isn't even flat, like most deep-sea creatures. Okay, here's how it went. The genus of fish that goes by the same name Abyssobrotula is quite well known and studied. This whole bunch is found at extreme depths, starting at 2 kilometers down. In general, ordinary such fish, no commercial value, sometimes caught by vessels that fish at greater depths. In the late 20th century, near Puerto Rico, scientists launched their naughty nets into the oceanic trench at a depth of about 10 kilometers. The scientific men probably wanted to catch the great Cthulhu, Poseidon, or Lucifer himself. Well, instead, at a depth of 8,370 meters, 2 unsightly Abyssobrotula's fish were caught in the net. Of course, it was a shock, because previously it had been thought that only some single-celled fish survived somehow down there. These 2 fish were slightly differently structured than the rest of the genus, so they were identified as a separate species. The eyes do not work, because you can look into the blackness without them. The fins are small, in the swim bladder are constantly complex processes of gas exchange, so that the animal does not burst from the pressure. The length of fish around 10 centimeters. The animal feeds on small crustaceans and catches deep snow. The peculiarities of breeding and behavior are, of course, not known. The record of deep water is held by a species of Abyssobrotulus galatea from the family Argonian. A specimen of this species was recovered by trawl from the Puerto Rico deepwater trench in the Atlantic Ocean from a depth of 8,370 m in 1970 on the vessel Galatea, after which the fish was named. This is a relatively small 20 centimeters fish that lives in depths of over 800 atmospheres. Alas, it was not possible to bring it to the surface. It died due to low pressure at medium depths. How do Abyssobrotulas live and exist? About this today, almost nothing is known, however. According to their appearance, we can assume that these creatures eat the remains of other animals, as well as bottom crustaceans. It is quite difficult to judge the number of this species, as its natural habitat starts deeper than 3 kilometers from the water surface. The Abyssobrotula has a short head, curved downward, and a soft body tapering toward the tail. Its skin is transparent, its teeth are small and sharp, arranged chaotically in its mouth, its eyes are small, deep-set, and apparently very poorly developed. Deep-sea fish have characteristic features in their structure. They have to withstand water pressure near the ocean floor of such strength that any unadapted organism is unable to survive in such conditions. Remain at such a great depth. Fish helps, first of all, a special structure of the swim bladder. Fish continuously pump gas to avoid the flattening of the bladder from external pressure. Most species of deep-sea fish have special organs photophthora, serving to camouflage or, conversely, to attract prey. The number of rays in the dorsal and anal fins of deep-sea fish increased, while in the pectoral and caudal, on the contrary, became less. The size of the gill hole is also much smaller than in fish living at shallower depths. The number of vertebrae is increased, but their strength is inferior to other fish species. The fish living at the greatest depths is considered to belong to the family Bertullidae Bysogygas. There is a known case of Bysohygas caught at a depth of more than 8 kilometers. However, not only this species swims in such remote corners of the world ocean. There are a total of 7 species of deep-sea fish, 3 of which belong to the Arwinidae and 4 to the sea slugs. The greatest recorded depth at which the Abyssobrotula was caught is 8,370 meters. The fish was seen at this depth in the Puerto Rico Trench. The Pseudoliparus, which was caught at a depth of 7,800 meters, is not much inferior to the previous species. To study the life of deep-sea fish is very difficult, if not impossible, two different conditions necessary for their life from those in which humans can exist. Therefore, there is almost no knowledge in this area. It is assumed that deep-sea fish feed on crustaceans and various organic remains. They spend most of their lives slowly moving in the bottom layers of water. There is anecdotal evidence of fish living at depths greater than the recorded values. During bathyscope dives in the Mariana Trench, creatures resembling plaice were spotted. They were photographed at a depth of 10 kilometers. Definitely say whether they are fish or represent any other group, the researchers cannot yet.